WUSA 9 News at 5 starts with big changes that could be coming to Capital One Arena. These are some of the renderings of what the home of the Washington Capitals and Wizards might look like someday. That's if a $500 million taxpayer-funded renovation is approved. Thank you for being here with us on WUSA 9 and streaming on WUSA 9 Plus. I'm Lorenzo Hall.
Welcome back from vacation. We have lots going on.
Clearly.
Let's get you in the loop here.
Go.
I'm Leslie Foster, and tonight we're learning some new details about this deal to keep monumental sports and entertainment in the district. Our Rafael Sanchez Cruz is live outside Capital One Arena. He's got new reaction to this plan from fans.
Yeah, but we got to start with our chief investigative reporter, Eric Flack. He spent the day poring over the details of this deal. And Flack, we know that Monumental CEO Ted Leonsis is promising a brand new fan experience. What does that mean?
Yeah, he's really doing that. So, in fact, the renovations to Capital One Arena are expected to be complete for the Capitals and the Wizards 2027-2028 season, just a few years away. That means fans at Capital One, between now and then, they're going to have to remember that old saying, pardon my dust.
This will be a really, really major transformation.
Monday, Monumental Sports and Entertainment owner Ted Leonsis released 8 new artist renderings of what renovations to Capital One Arena will look like, including an overhaul of concourses, improved sightlines from concession stands, more concession stands, and better access to restrooms, and new locker rooms, film rooms, a player's family lounge, and training facilities. During the Caps and Wizards seasons, work will focus on those back-of-the-house improvements to the players' area. But Leonsis admits at times fans will be able to tell construction is going on.
That's what we have to look at with the building. It's going to be funky. But when it's done, everyone's going to say, this was fantastic. It was worth the wait. It was worth the investment.
During the summers, Monumental will tackle those major renovations to the fan areas. And during that time, Capital One will go completely dark. That means about 30 concerts a summer are gone from the downtown economy for 3 straight summers. A tough blow for businesses. Monumental also won't have anywhere for the Mystics to play their big games, like when Caitlin Clark comes to town. Leonsis says they're still trying to figure that part out. In addition to the $515 million in taxpayer dollars, Monumental is investing an additional $285 million of its own money for an expansion into the Gallery Place Mall next door, which will house Monumental offices and a mammoth new entrance to the arena.
This will be a really, really major transformation. It'll look different on the outside. It'll look and feel different on the inside. The parking will be different. The entrances will be different. I mean, that's the key thing on making it new.
Part of the $515 million Monumental is going to get from the district will come in the form of a sale of Capital One Arena from Monumental back to D.C. Monumental will then lease the space back from D.C. for the same amount of money it's already paying D.C. right now in what's called a ground lease. So there's a lot of steps still to go with this.
Sounds like it. So we know Ted Leonsis is saying this is going to be a little funky at first, but what are the next steps?
Well, you know, legislation laying out the arrangement still has to be approved by D.C. Council, but D.C. Council already approved the framework of giving $515 million in taxpayer dollars to Leonsis to keep him in D.C. That came after his failed attempt to move the Caps and the Wizards to a brand new arena in Northern Virginia. The Monumental says it's ready to start work as soon as that legislation is signed. So things could start moving pretty quickly now.
Yeah, and a lot to figure out. What caught my attention is these restaurants. When you have that blackout period at
It's going to be
Capital
tough.
One Arena, what are they going to do?
Short-term pain, long-term gain,
Concerts.
I think is what they're saying.
Yeah. And at least they're going to be there.
Something.
There is something there.
Okay, thank you, Flack. You know, we're going to stay on top of this, of course.
And of course, this proposal has a lot of people talking. It's not just the fans, but the business community that you alluded to as well.
Yeah, Rafael Sanchez Cruz spent the day talking to some of our neighbors. He's live outside of Capital One Arena with more on how they're reacting tonight. Rafa.
Yeah, Lorenzo, Leslie, we spoke to people here in downtown. We went to Anacostia, and overall, people say that if we want this neighborhood to thrive, there needs to be some kind of innovation, right? But there are some concerns about what this transition period not only means for the neighborhood, but for the city overall.
Be right here at home.
Jay Morgan says it's time for the district to have an arena that we can brag about.
You know, you're looking good, you play better, you get more victories, so that can ultimately help.
So if our downtown fails, a lot of things in our city fails, and a lot of people don't understand that.
But for Ron Moten, the proposed renovations to the home of the Caps and Wizards go beyond the success of the teams.
The businesses downtown pay for a lot of the social programs that I believe in and the things that empower people in my community.
Moten was a vocal critic of the monumental move to take the teams to Potomac Yard.
It's going to be messy. It's going to be long and hard. 3 years of deconstruction and then construction.
During the reconstruction period, there would be no summer concerts, according to D.C. officials. A huge hit to the Chinatown Gallery Place corridor that relies on foot traffic.
So we have Capital One. We're trying to hold on to it.
Von Costello doubts some businesses will be able to survive the proposed renovation period. And he's also skeptical that the arena would be ready by the 2027-2028 season.
Good luck with that.
Yes, let's do it.
For native Washingtonian Ralph Watkins, the growing pains will be worth the end result.
Anything that we can do to make the city better.
But as the city moves forward with the proposed monumental project, Moten urges the decision makers to keep one thing in mind.
It's not Disneyland. Like, we must keep the culture and the spirit of D.C. as a part of what changes in D.C.
So amid those financial concerns, D.C. officials tell us that in 2025 there are events scheduled that will bring in revenue to the city, including World Pride. There's also national conventions and some FIFA games. So a lot of what we're hearing, though, those growing pains, but the end result, overall a good thing if you ask Wizards and Caps fans. Live in Chinatown, I'm Rafael Sanchez Cruz, WUSA 9.
You know, some people say no pain, no gain, right?
Yep.
Gotta have a little bit to get where you need to go.
Rafa, thank you.